welcome. I'm going to show you today one of the most important and foundational parts of wet method painting, how to soak the paper, or how to create a wet pack, as it is called in the printing world. But we can use it in wet method painting. Right here, I have some paper that has been soaked in a wet pack. And you see how I've covered it with plastic to cure the paper and get it ready for painting. And when done in this way, I can soak multiple sheets the night before, or at school the day of painting, or at home many hours before my children will paint with it, and it'll be perfectly ready when it's time to paint. There will be no need to sponge the paper. Look at this paper. I simply take it off of the board, wet like that, and I take a dry masonite board and lay the paper out. And there you see perfectly soaked paper ready to go. Now I'm going to show you just how to make this wet pack. Okay, here's how to actually make a wet pack with wet on wet paper. First, you're going to need some paper. I like this thinner paper, which I will discuss in another online video, but you don't need to get really heavy paper. And you could take a tray like this, fill it with water, and insert the paper one at a time. Or for larger sheets, you could get a wallpaper tray and simply run the paper through the water and lay it on a board. Or if you don't have any of these things available to you, just use your sink. So what you do is fill up your tray or your vessel with water and take one sheet at a time of the watercolor paper and insert it into the water. I like to use up paper that was extra this way too, because I might have soaked some paper previously that is now bumpy, and I can re-soak it by simply taking the bumpy paper, reinserting it into the water and submerging it one sheet at a time. And when I get enough sheets of watercolor in the water, I'll drain off the water. And now the most important part of creating a wet pack. Take a board, a painting board, and take all of your paper that is pretty dripping wet, but can drain off some, and lay it on a board like this, and then very importantly, cover with plastic and adhere the plastic to the paper. Better be a clean one. Adhere the plastic to the paper and let this sit for 5 minutes or 5 hours or even overnight. If you have a cool place to store the wet pack, this can even hold up to several days.